They go right for a bulk up. We'll get a guaranteed Draco Meteor crit, and it does just KO Annihilate. Okay. Last week we spent about an hour laddering with a water type starter. This week, as promised, a different type. And if you've been watching this channel throughout Regulation H, you know that my favorite starter is Superior. I've been workshopping a Superior team for a while, and really trying to see what I can do with that Pokemon. So obviously we're not going to use Superior in this series, but I do have a very close second favorite starter. It's a tough split between that one and Superior. I was kind of unsure for a while on which one I prefer, and that is Sceptile. I talk a lot about being a Pokemon Silver kid. It was my first game, as I say many times, but I also spent many an hour growing up playing Sapphire and Emerald. And Sceptile was my Sapphire version starter. It was very much the star of my team. I would run through a route with Sceptile and then train the rest of my team later to catch up to it. And I loved how Leaf Blade just racked up KOs on opponents, plus I loved its design in all three stages of its evolutionary line. Just a really well-designed Pokemon that I have a lot of personal history with, and so a very close second favorite starter for me behind Superior, like I said. So of course we had to cover Sceptile in this series. Sceptile has a few things going for it. The main one is, well, I shouldn't say that, but it starts with Unburden. Unburden, of course, if you consume its item, it gets the doubled speed, and Sceptile being very fast already can be all the faster if you get the Unburden activated. From there, probably the most notable move that Sceptile gets is Shed Tail, but I don't know that I'm all that encouraged by Sceptile as a Shed Tail user, and the reason is actually that speed stat. I think generally with a Shed Tail Pokemon, you probably want it to be slow, potentially take a hit, and move last and get the substitute out intact to a target. So I wasn't that high on Shed Tail Sceptile, and I looked through the rest of its move pool, and I found a couple other moves that interested me. In Dragon Cheer, Sceptile being one of the fastest Dragon Cheer users, especially if you get Unburden, and Bullet Seed. And you might have already guessed where this is going. It is pairing Sceptile with Archaludon. I just used Archaludon Rain last week with Feraligatr, but I think we're going to be running it back. Archaludon with Stamina can get boosted by Sceptile's Bullet Seed, and then if I give it like a Razor Claw or a Scope Lens, then Dragon Cheer will guarantee its critical hits with, say, Draco Meteor. All the better if I can boost them with Electro Shot, so we are going right back to the Archaludon Rain once again. I do promise it'll be a different style of team next week. I've already picked what it will be, but we are running back-to-back Rain here, but the Sceptile one I think is going to play very differently from the Feraligatr one. In the next slot, the first Pokemon that I thought of was Kingdra. Kingdra gives the team a second Dragon type, so it can also benefit from Dragon Cheer, and with Swift Swim it can hit very hard and very quickly in the rain. And then I thought we'll throw in a Moongus again, and Goldango, some pretty standard rain pieces here. But thinking about it more, I actually decided to make a couple of changes before I finalized the team. So for one, I probably want Sceptile to be able to land an attack, and Sceptile has a higher special attack stat and probably want Grass Stab, so Grass Pledge or Energy Ball or something is pretty interesting already. But if I want Grass Pledge, then maybe I want a Water Pledge user so that I can set up the Swamp and I can make sure that Archaludon and Pelipper and Goldango are going before their targets. I have that little bit more speed control. Actually, the Swamp is a lot of speed control, it's just it only lasts a few turns. But it cuts the opponent's speed in a quarter, so that's very strong. So in that case, let's drop Kingdra for Primarina, I thought. And that way, Primarina and Sceptile can hit very hard with the Pledge combo using Sceptile's speed and Primarina's special attack. And Primarina also will benefit from having the speed control set up by the Swamp, and then it can throw off strong spread Hyper Voices boosted by the rain. So there's a lot of potential damage there, apart from the Archaludon mode. And then looking over this team, I thought, even before I got rid of Kingdra, it's a very special offense-heavy team. There's not really a physical attacker. And so I scrolled through the list of Pokemon looking for something that I might want to use as a physical attacker on this team, and I decided I should get a second Dragon after all. I should go double Dragon here, and so I replaced Goldango with Dragonite. Dragonite is a strong option for a second Dragon Cheer recipient. I'm not going to run a crit boosting item on it, so it won't be guaranteed crits, but it'll still get a buffed crit rate from Dragon Cheer, an extra for being a Dragon type. And I think an Assault Vest set with extreme speed and some strong coverage can go a long way to rounding out this team and making sure that I have a lot of different kinds of damage into a lot of different Pokemon. So that's the basic concept. It is another rain team, but it's different from the one last week, and the starter certainly plays very differently. The featured starter, that is. We do also have Primarina on this one. So let's cut to the finished team. And here it is. Sceptile with, as promised, Grass Pledge, Dragon Cheer, and Bullet Seed. The Focus Sash will enable it to take a hit and then give it the Unburden after it's consumed. We have our Chaladon with a Scope Lens this time instead of an Assault Vest, so I can run Protect on it, but I have the Stamina setup option available. I have the Electro Shot setup. And I have guaranteed crits after Dragon Cheer with Draco Meteor, plus I can Terra Dragon to boost them even further. Pelipper is, I think, the same set as last time. Primarina is pretty straightforward Terra Grass set, like I've been using lately at time of recording. But I think Terra Grass can help cover for its weaknesses pretty effectively in Rain. A similar Amoonguss to last time, but I'm running Sludge Bomb just to help cover for opposing Fairy and Grass types, which might give my double Dragon Core and my Primarina Sceptile pieces some difficulty. Basically, I don't want to be too easy to wall here, so I think Sludge Bomb covers for some of the gaps in this team's coverage, and then the Assault Vest Dragonite, like I said, with a pretty typical set here. I've gone Dragon Claw instead of Outrage because I don't have the boosted damage from a Choice Band anyway, and I feel like when I run Outrage on Dragonite, sometimes I'm missing a really spammable safe attack that's neutral into a lot of Pokemon, so I feel a bit more comfortable with Dragon Claw here, but we'll see. And with all that said, let's go ahead and get on the ladder. I've broken Item Claws. Okay, that's funny. What did I do? Oh, it's the Focus Sash on the Pelipper, because I also already have it on Sceptile. I think I want to change Pelipper's item. Well, in that case, I'm going to make Pelipper bulkier. And let's just give it a Rocky... Whoops. Yeah, let's just give it a Rocky Helmet, I guess. It's just a nice item to have. And now we'll get on the ladder. Okay. And immediately we get a Rain team, although they also have a Hisuian Typhlosion. I mean, I guess it's a Pledge team. That's just what it is. I don't have Assault Vest or Chaladon this time, so your Chaladon Mirror is going to be potentially pretty hard to deal with. I'm also not eager... I think I can lead Primarina. I think I can just get the Swamp up right away, and then... So I actually want Primarina, not Pelipper in the lead, and then I'll bring Pelipper and our Chaladon, and we'll see how it goes. If they lead Meowscarada, I probably Terra Grass Primarina turn 1. But yeah. Hopefully... I think this team is going to be a little hard to break, but hopefully if I get my Swamp up, ideally they don't get theirs, but they can. Then I can break through from there. Okay, Terra Grass is actually a problem when the Sneasler is threatening a Dire Claw. Either way, so maybe I want to switch our Chaladon in here. Obviously Sneasler could click Close Combat, but I don't think it will. So... I could side Bullet Seed, or I can Dragon Cheer. I'm just thinking about which one to do. I think Dragon Cheer is a bit safer, and switch our Chaladon in. I'm also mindful of a possible Sucker Punch from the Meowscarada. Fake out our Chaladon, that's fine. Gives me a stamina boost right off the bat. They actually U-turn Sceptile, which takes it down to its Sash, but that will give it Unburden next turn. I bring their Chaladon in, I Dragon Cheer mine, and I kind of want to just Terra Dragon Draco Meteor their Chaladon immediately. Let's try to get the side Bullet Seed off too, but yeah, if I can just remove this. Well, I don't know if one hit will do that, but you know, the sooner I land some big attacks into it, the better. I do get the side Bullet Seed for 4 hits. 5 hits? 4 hits. That's kind of lucky when I'm not running loaded dice on Sceptile, so we take those. And after that close combat, our Chaladon is now at plus 6 defense. I did get very lucky there with their Archaladon missing a Draco Meteor. That might be game losing for them, unfortunately, for my opponent. Sneasler can Dire Claw Archaladon, but it's not necessarily the end of the world at +6 defense, so I think I'm just going to double into their Pelipper here. Grass Pledge to break a possible Sash and Electro Shot. They protect Sneasler anyway. There's a Grass Pledge. This will KO a Sceptile, but that's fine, it's done its job. And here's the Electro Shot, boosting Archaladon's special attack, and still with a guaranteed crit. And now I'll get my Pelipper in. I feel like that's kind of more valuable than Primarina here. My opponent said something funny in chat. That is unfortunate for them. They've definitely been unlucky this game, but what can you do? And I'll just go for Hurricane and Draco Meteor into Sneasler. Dire Claw Pelipper, no status. If it has a Focus Sash that's been broken. Oh, they have Triple Axle on the Meowscarada though. Gets all 3 hits, but at +6 defense does not even really threaten a KO into Archaladon. And Draco Meteor guaranteed crit, plus Hurricane into Meowscarada, and they forfeit. So some bad luck for that opponent in that game for sure, but hey, it is nice that Sceptile got to put in work right away. And we'll see where we can go from there. Okay, Clefable, Garchomp, Whimsicott, Hydreigon. I've agreed to open team sheets, so I will too. Annihilate and Goldango. I guess the problem with Terra Dragon Archaladon is these double dragon teams. I might be better off with Terra Electric, actually. Maybe I'll change that after this game. I could lead Sceptile Dragonite, Dragon Cheer that, but the Annihilate is potentially a problem, and so is the Goldango, actually. Could bring a Moongus to this one. The Moongus is kind of nice because it can redirect their attacks, and Terra Dragon Archaladon is at least not weak to an Earthquake. Okay, Sceptile, Archaladon, and Moongus, Dragonite. Had to make a decision quickly there. I really managed my time badly on that one. They lead Whimsicott, Annihilate. They don't have beat up on the Whimsicott. They can lock my Pokemon into whatever with Encore. But I can Dragon Cheer Archaladon right away. And just Draco Meteor Annihilate. And my Protect. If it switches out, then I get a Draco Meteor crit into something else, and that's fine unless it's Clefable. But it could be Clefable. They've, now that they've seen my team sheet. They go right for a Bulk Up. We'll get a guaranteed Draco Meteor crit, and it does just KO Annihilate. Okay. Now they get Garchomp in. But I can probably just switch Sceptile out to a Moongus and protect Archaladon here. Or you know what? I could side Bullet Seed. Oh, but they do have Tailwind up. I could Terra Dragon side Bullet Seed. But they also can Encore Sceptile, so I'm going to go to a Moongus and protect Archaladon, like I said first. Because they can deny the side Bullet Seed anyway. They actually just Moonblast Archaladon. That actually is a bit of an issue, because of course Rage Powder won't work on Whimsicott. Do I Terra or do I not Terra? I think Archaladon being bulkier on the physical side, I'm going to not Terra and just try to take the Earthquake. I'll put Draco Meteor into Garchomp here. They lock Archaladon into Protect. I switched Sceptile out to cover for the Encore, but I didn't play that right with Archaladon. That's a silly mistake by me. Well, be nice if I can get rid of this Whimsicott. Don't think they're gonna let me. I think I have to switch a Moongus out. I'll go Dragonite for the immunity. Archaladon will at least be able to protect itself this turn. Dragonite for the Earthquake immunity, that is. Garchomp sets up Swords Dance, so good chance I just lose to that now, but... try to remove Garchomp here, because it's just become a huge threat with that Swords Dance. Scale Shot Dragonite, that'll probably KO. Yeah, it does. The other play I was considering was Extreme Speed into Whimsicott, but I felt like the Garchomp was just too urgent to remove at that point. However, what I'll do here, I'll just Sludge Bomb Whimsicott and Draco Meteor Garchomp and hope it works out somehow. I don't have my Terra available on our Chaladon anymore, which is this. Also not good, but no, they got me. So fair enough. That's why Encore Whimsicott is often hard to deal with. I'll just Grass Pledge into Garchomp here, and I have to click Protect with our Chaladon. Yeah, so I got my initial setup, but they had no trouble shutting it down later in the game, and that Scale Shot Garchomp on the other side went crazy. That was really hard to deal with. I'm just going to forfeit here instead of dragging it out. It was really hard to deal with when they got the right support in place. You know, got his positioning right. Here we've got a Kilowattrel and a Noivern. I feel like there's some wind power stuff coming, but also have the Wash Rotom. I don't know what I make of this team. It's Double Dragon again. Didn't I mean to change my Chaladon's Terra type? I'm gonna do it now, so it'll kick in next game. Then, for this game, let's just do Sceptile or Chaladon again. I might be able to set up the side Bullet Seed, put in some work with that, and we'll bring Pelipper and probably Primarina. Dragonite's okay here. Dragonite's actually pretty good here, but so's Primarina, I think. Okay, it's Rotom and our Chaladon. And I'm just gonna Dragon Cheer and go right for a Draco Meteor into their Chaladon. They Will-O-Wisp, but that's fine. I don't even have Body Press. And that does a lot of damage, plus they lowered their special attack and they don't have a guaranteed crit. I can side Bullet Seed here, or I can just Grass Pledge Rotom. But I'm not that I don't think I'm that afraid of Rotom. Maybe I'm a little bit afraid of Rotom. But I think I'm okay to side Bullet Seed here. And actually, I'll just Draco Meteor Rotom. There we go, that splits the difference. Their Chaladon has nerfed itself already with its own Draco Meteor, so it's less of an immediate threat than it was last turn. Side Bullet Seed will land 5 times. Wow. I've been very lucky with that so far, considering that I don't have loaded dice. Okay, Sceptile, but that's okay. It's put in a lot of work already, as the guaranteed Draco Meteor crit knocks out the Rotom. And now I get... I'll get Pelipper in here. Primarina can show up in the back and benefit from the rain if it's still up. Here's their Garchomp. I kind of want to just set Tailwind here. I do have to be alert to an Electro Shot. Maybe I should change Pelipper's Terra type since I changed this item. I will go for the Tailwind though and see how that plays out. As okay, they bring in Kilowattrel. But our Chaladon also has a +5 defense, so how afraid am I of the Earthquake, really? I'm just gonna Weather Ball Kilowattrel and Draco Meteor Garchomp. Get Protect. They'll probably get their own Tailwind here. Well, it had a Sash and it was faster than Pelipper, so I couldn't really deny that anyway. Let's protect Pelipper here and Draco Meteor Garchomp again. I still don't think it's about to one-shot our Chaladon or anything. Oh, but they double target our Chaladon, so I missed a chance to attack with Pelipper there. And I think this will KO. Never mind, it flinched. That's really bad. I might lose to this, actually. But let's try to get out of this one. See if they double target our Chaladon again. Let's go ahead and put Terra Ground, I guess, on Pelipper for these positions. So I'll have a couple of different Terra types next game. Discharge is going to KO Pelipper. Yeah, so they got me. And then my Tailwind expires, but their Pokemon were faster anyway. Discharge is going to wreck my Primarina. Actually, I can still Terra that, right? So yeah, Terra Grass, Hyper Voice. Go for the double protect. The only way our Chaladon gets through this turn, I think. If Primarina gets the Hyper Voice off, it should KO both of these. And it'll resist Electric and Ground after Terra, so entirely possible that this works out. That this part works out. Okay, they protect Kilowatt Roll, they protect both. That's not good, because now they've seen my Terra, so they know to Air Slash and probably Dragon Claw Primarina. In which case, I'll attack with our Chaladon here instead of fishing for yet another Protect. I think they double into Primarina. They just picked my Pokemon up with Earthquake, actually. Okay. Well, hey, that one had a promising start, but they turned it around in the end, so good for them. And we move on now to this interesting Mono Gen 1 Sun team here, with the Ninetales and Venusaur being an obvious threatening duo. But a lot of Gen 1 powerhouses here. I actually have to watch out for the Ditto, because it can copy our Chaladon's boosts. Although I don't think it can copy the crit rate. And I do think I can go for the Dragon Cheer play once again here. That does potentially lose to Ninetales Venusaur lead, but... Actually, if I see that, I probably just switch Pelipper in, right? Over Sceptile. And just make do with, like, just start clicking, well, I don't know if I do just start clicking Electroshock unless I know that they don't have the Ditto. But bring Dragonite in the back, and we'll see what we get here. So it's Dragonite and Gengar against Sceptile and our Chaladon. So I don't have to worry about that Ninetales Venusaur lead. I will just go ahead and Dragon Cheer and Draco Meteor. Let's see. You're thinking? I don't know what they're going to do. It's a mystery to me. But they know their team, and I don't know their team, so it's not saying much. They're normal, they're going right for the extreme speed into Sceptile, but that'll give me Unburden, so definitely going before Gengar here. And they actually don't finish Sceptile off. They do get a big attack into our Chaladon, though, so that's not great for me. That's actually a real problem. Our Chaladon just drops to another of those. Oh. Let's see if I can Grass Pledge Gengar. I'll protect our Chaladon for now, but I'm still not sure how I keep it alive the rest of the way. Of course, Gengar resists that Grass Pledge, takes pretty nicely. Sceptile gets KO'd, okay. Yeah, the Gengar is still such a problem. I think I just have to... I might actually have to give up the crit boost. I don't like that, but I think I do have to. And let's hope that Dragonite doesn't take a nap here as I click Stomping Tantrum into... I'll click Dragon Claw in case they switch to Ditto. Gengar, switch our Chaladon out to Pelipper, because I can maybe win with our Chaladon in the back, but not if it just loses to this Gengar right now. Pelipper takes a lot from that Shadow Ball too. Dragon Claw KOs, gets disabled, but I think that's okay. The disabled part anyway. They get their Sun here. I don't know which Pokemon is more important to remove. Also, Dragonite might just be taking a nap here. I also have the option to sack our Chaladon so that I can get the Rain back up and just disrupt them while I try to win the game with Dragonite. I think that might actually be the best I've got at this point. Let's click Ice Spinner into Venusaur and switch to our Chaladon. I feel like our Chaladon is pretty hard pressed to win this game anyway. And especially with the Ninetales. I thought the Venusaur would have Earth Power, but I didn't even see the Scorching Sands Ninetales coming. Our Chaladon, yeah, I feel like there wasn't much to be done with it there except sack it. We'll try again for the Ice Spinner. We'll also try to land a Hurricane into Venusaur. But Pelipper gets KO'd by that Sludge Bomb. Terra Grass might actually have, or Ground might actually have helped it there, but oh well. And we'll look for an Extreme Speed into Venusaur here. They can Protect, they do. Of course, I don't have Protect on Dragonite, so if they have Will-O-Wisp or something, so be it. Instead, they just miss a Heat Wave. I'll Terra Normal just to be safe. The Rain is nerfing their Heat Wave anyway, and Ninetales isn't that strong. Yeah, that didn't do much. And now, let's go for Stomping Tantrum into Ninetales. They can land Scorching Sands now, and actually that can burn Dragonite. That is something I thought about earlier and then stopped thinking about, but I think this is going to work out. I'll probably finish this with an Extreme Speed, and if not, the next one should do it. Alright, so Dragonite was able to pull that one back after they successfully disrupted the Sceptile or Chaladon mode. With this not being Assault Vest or Chaladon, the Gengar just did too much special damage for a Chaladon to really get rolling, but the rest of the team was able to come through. And I guess that is a downside to running Guaranteed Crit or Chaladon, that you don't have the item slot available for the Assault Vest. Here's a Rain team. What is this Armoroost doing? It's probably some weak armor weakness policy stuff. They have triple Dragon too, so great if I can land Draco Meteors into them, but not so great if I'm on the receiving end. Maybe I want to set up the Swamp into this team. It might make it harder than to set our Chaladon up, but I'll try to do both if I can. And honestly, I'm just going to bring Dragonite for more power, leave my Pelipper behind, kind of hope they bring theirs. They don't have to, though. Okay, as we see Whimsicott and Hydreigon. The Pledge combo isn't going to do a lot of damage outright to either of these Pokemon. What Terra types does Hydreigon run? None that improve a Grass-type attack into it, so let's just target Whimsicott. Hydreigon could run Terra Fire, Poison, Steel, but just like its original typing, all of those also resist Grass. And it actually doesn't Terra at all, it just goes for Snarl. But that's okay, because I get the Swamp here, and I think I'm just going to switch our Chaladon in and Dragon Cheer. Yeah, our Chaladon takes the Snarl drop there, but that doesn't matter to a critical hit. I'll protect Sceptile just to keep that unit in the game a little bit longer. Fake Tears, uh-oh. Okay, well thanks to the Swamp, my attack goes off first. I thought I was just about to get dropped by that Hydreigon there. One more turn of Swamp. And this is hard. I'm going to switch to Dragonite, try to keep up some momentum, and just Draco Meteor their Chaladon. They Protect, so they have Protect, good to know. They're not running Assault Vest either. They Moonblast Dragonite, not ideal for me, but here, I think I'm going to Extreme Speed Whimsicott and protect our Chaladon. I believe Extreme Speed will go before Prankster Tailwind always, because Prankster adds only +1 priority. Unfortunately, we don't get the KO, but fortunately Whimsicott doesn't even go for Tailwind. They double into our Chaladon. I think I might have to give up the crit boost once again, but I can KO Whimsicott here. And go Primarina. But that gets rid of the Fake Tears drop, which I think is more important in this position. And we switch Primarina in on the Dragon Pulse, so no damage there. They go Pelipper. I guess I'll just double into our Chaladon here. Stomping Tantrum and Moonblast. Terra Ghost Pelipper. Icy Wind, okay. Oh, they can Electroshock Primarina here. Yeah, that's not good. Probably just lose to that, actually. Although they have to make a choice here, right? Because if I get our Chaladon back in, they can only attack one of my Pokemon with their Chaladon. An Icy Wind won't do too much damage, and we see that they don't have stamina. So I should be able to KO their Chaladon here, I think. We also know they don't have the Assault Vest. They KO Dragonite. Oh no, they don't even. It survives. But also I KO their Chaladon back, and I'm pretty sure I'm always beating Pelipper in that endgame. As we actually land the Stomping Tantrum because of the Terra Ghost on the Pelipper. So that worked out pretty nicely in the end. And we'll move on to another one. This is Wolf Glick's Louisville team, isn't it? I guess it would be advantageous for me not to accept open team sheets, but I don't even think I remember his team that well. And it just feels polite to accept when they do first. I'll just try to get the Archaladon going. The Ursaluna might ruin my day, but it'd be fun if it works. And we'll bring Pelipper for sure. Probably want to bring Primarina into this. I think so. Okay, Sceptile, Archaladon, against Yanmega and Sneasler. They don't have Fake Out. There's still a couple of ways they could potentially ruin Sceptile's day. Although it's at worst a speed tie between Sneasler and Sceptile. Just learned that those two Pokemon have the same base speed. I bet you didn't know that either. So worst case might be lucky here. We'll try to Dragon Cheer and just Draco Meteor Sneasler. They go right for the Stellar Terra. We do get the Dragon Cheer off first. And they just KO our Chaladon with Close Combat. So that wasn't very useful, was it? Okay, well, And then Primarina just loses to Dire Claw, so let's go Pelipper here. I'll protect Sceptile this turn, and I'll try to Hurricane the Sneasler. I don't know if I'll be able to pull that off. But hey, that's a way to shut down the Archaladon mode, right? Just one-shot the Archaladon. That's pretty hard for me to deal with. As they protect the Sneasler. I might as well go for a Dragon Cheer into Pelipper. You never know, it could come in handy. Or Sneasler out. That might actually have been a good turn to set Tailwind. I will give Pelipper the critical hit boost. It'll last for the rest of the game because, for better or worse, I can't switch Pelipper out. I'll get Primarina here. Just go right for Hyper Voice and Weather Ball into Porygon 2. Go right for Hyper Voice and Hurricane into Yanmega. Actually, crit's probably not valuable there, but we do get it. Yeah, maybe I should have taken the KO on Porygon 2. Are they gonna bring in Ursaluna? Yeah. All right. Well, I'll try. What does Ursaluna have? Get Headlong Rush Primarina. I will cover for that with the Grass Terra. And Hyper Voice and Weather Ball Ursaluna. They could also just protect it, but they don't. Wait, and Primarina underspeeds? What? Ursaluna's minimum speed is 49. Did they mess up their EVs, or is it a faster Ursaluna on Wolf's team? I've seen the EVs. I'm a Patreon member. I just don't remember. Maybe it's supposed to be able to play in Tailwind with the Yanmega. In any case, yeah. So Primarina finishes that one off. The crit boost on Pelipper didn't really matter that much, but it was kind of funny to have. Now we get this looks like some Manual Rain, but also bouncy stuff. I mean, Sceptile or Chaladon has been a fun lead so far. Let's give it another go. I could bring Dragonite. Not bad into some of these Pokemon. I think I'll bring Pelipper. And I think I'll bring Primarina to help cover for Annihilate and Incineroar. Okay, it's Whimsicott Annihilate right off the bat. They could boost their Rage Fist, but there's not a whole lot I can do about that, except that... Well, actually, I could side Bullet Seed this turn. And then hope I get the Dragon Cheer next turn. I think I'm down to do that. And let's just Flash Cannon Whimsicott in that case. I hope I'm not encored into Bullet Seed after this, though, as we get 4 hits, so more good Bullet Seed luck. But yeah, just kind of keeping up with the Rage Fist boosts there. They actually Rage Fist into Sceptile, which is okay. That'll knock it down to its Sash. And if we're not encored here, we can still get the Dragon Cheer. So here's hoping. I'm also going to commit the Draco Meteor, so I really hope this works out. Maybe I shouldn't commit the Draco Meteor. Well, too late. Cancel too late. But I do get the Dragon Cheer off. As Sceptile goes down, our Chaladon has almost no damage and is knocked out Annihilate and is fully set up. I'll get Pelipper in here. And the Rillaboom. I can just protect. Gotta watch out for the Encore Whimsicott. Okay, let's just Hurricane Whimsicott and Draco Meteor Rillaboom. They can fake something out if they want. It's Pelipper. They Encore our Chaladon into Draco Meteor. That's absolutely fine with me, as we still connect with the Rillaboom and get the KO. And there's Basculegion, but our Chaladon is, again, fully set up. How much is it really going to take from physical attacks? We'll try again to Hurricane Whimsicott, and we'll just go for another Draco Meteor into Basculegion because we are locked in and can't click Electroshot. And our Chaladon tanking that last respects pretty nicely. KOing Basculegion. It was actually only at +5 defense. Got the numbers wrong, but now it gets +6. KOing the Basculegion, and I don't usually dive into the order like this, but this is the next video I'm recording after the Feraligatr one, and I'm really impressed that with Feraligatr and Sceptile back-to-back, I have gotten this team over 1,500 on the ladder. I don't think you can see my rating, but I did just cross 1,500. And again, I've gained quite a bit of rating with Feraligatr and now Sceptile, so that's a lot of fun, for sure. Again, I'm not saying these are Pokemon that I would take to a regional, but they really are putting in some work here. This is a mono starter team, so that's fun. Can't claim any credit for inspiring them, because at time of recording, my mono starter video is not up. Although I have played the tournament already, so who knows, maybe I inspired them, but probably not. I'm not the only person who can come up with mono starter. They're going to be running pledges for sure, right? But you know what? What do they have for our Chaladon? Well, they have Primarina. Primarina for our Chaladon. I could try to get my Swamp. I feel like that might not be aggressive enough, and I might be best off just going for Sceptile or Chaladon, but hey, I have to pick a lane, and this is the one I'm picking. And I'll bring Dragonite just for having generally pretty good matchups in the back. Although, again, Pelipper might be valuable. But we'll see. Yeah, maybe I should have brought Pelipper so I can Electroshot the water types. Oh well. Especially the Primarina, because it's immune to Draco Meteor. And it's strong against Dragonite. Yeah, maybe I should have brought Pelipper. Just double protect here, because I can Terra Ghost Sceptile, but if they fake out Primarina, I'm actually not sure what that means for the pledge combo. I don't know. But I haven't seen very much double fake out lately, and I guess I forgot how to play into it, because now they're threatening another fake out. But I think more likely they just throw a grass attack at Primarina, so I'm just gonna try to make the pledge combo happen with the Terra Grass on Primarina. And if I can land this grass type damage into their Primarina, that would be pretty nice, I think. Actually switch it out. I mean, I'll still take damage on Incineroar if I can get it. No fake out. That still does reasonable damage. The U-turn Sceptile, but that's okay, I think. I mean, I would like to be able to use Sceptile to set our Chaladon up later, but I do think I'll switch it out against this Meowscarada. And just click Hyper Voice. But having the Swamp up here is nice when my opponent doesn't have their Swamp. Okay, they fake me out. They're going to U-turn. They do, but they U-turn the Archaladon slot, which is fine. Doesn't do too much damage and gives it a boost. They get their Primarina, though. And here's where it's not great that I don't have Pelipper, because I don't have the option to Electroshot here. So I'll just Flash Cannon and Moonblast their Primarina. It's enough of a threat that I feel good about doubling up on it here. Maybe letting our Chaladon get knocked off wouldn't be ideal, because then I can't... There's no way that I can set it up with guaranteed crits, but I don't know that they knock off our Chaladon here. Maybe they... I think Incineroar, if it stays in at all, is probably going to Parting Shot into something, but it's actually going to switch out to Rillaboom. We see the Terra Steel Primarina. That is a little bit harder to deal with. That does mean that I can Hyper Voice it later, though, as they have shown... They have shown U-turn on their Rillaboom. I'm going to double... That's the last turn of Swamp. Do I really double protect here? I'll protect our Chaladon, but I'll try to land a Hyper Voice with Primarina. Oh, and it works. Doesn't KO their Primarina, unfortunately. And mine takes a lot from that U-turn, and now I don't have to Swamp anymore. So they've pivoted pretty well around my speed control, and I'm not sure I have the damage to win this from here. They also take away my stamina boosts. It's pretty rough. Can't really safely switch Dragonite in either, so I think I'll just try to damage their Primarina whatever I can. See. Okay, they actually switch Primarina out. That might give me a chance to attack. Fake Out will knock out my Primarina, but a Flash Cannon crit without the guarantee, but it is still Scope Lens boosted. Takes out the Rillaboom. That takes away some of their pivoting ability, but they still have then Meowscarada in the back, plus Primarina. However, I think I go Dragonite here. And I hope that it can just clean up. I might have to Terra Normal pretty quickly if I see the Primarina, but at least I don't have to switch Dragonite in here. I have the opportunity to Terra right away if I see that matchup. And if it's Meowscarada, then maybe I can... maybe I'll tell them after the game if they stick around. But that... Obviously there was luck involved, but our Chaladon does still have a boosted crit rate without the Dragon Cheer. It's just not guaranteed. But yeah, I'll protect our Chaladon here. Oh, I've already used my Terra. Well, Dragonite's bulky, right? Ah, okay. Fair enough. Well, if they knock off our Chaladon, then they'll see crit boosting item. I might just have to Draco Meteor this Incineroar, even though I don't have guaranteed crits set up. Hope for the best. Okay, now I'm Stomping Tantruming Meowscarada. Not great. Knock off Dragonite's Assault Vest. I don't think Dragonite's going to take a hit from Primarina anymore. I mean, again, I still can get a crit. It's possible. So here's hoping. Because I think that's what I'm reduced to at this point. Is this going to have Triple Axle again? In that case, maybe we Draco Meteor it and Extreme Speed it. Cover for that. I mean, they can knock out Dragonite. Oh, but they only got one hit. Okay, that was some bad luck on my opponent's part. Only getting one hit there. I still think they'll win. I don't expect to win this game, but if they complain about that one, that's totally fair. What are the speed interactions here? I don't know. They haven't given me a clean look. Do I think Dragonite is... You know what? If nothing else, I'm not confident that Dragonite is faster than Incineroar, so... Let's Extreme Speed and Draco Meteor into that. But probably just lose to Primarina now. I just don't really have anything to break it, even with its HP fairly low. Don't get the KO on Incineroar. Both my Pokemon dropped a Hyper Voice, and it's Sceptile's last stand, but I think we know how that one's going to turn out. Maybe I can finish off the Incineroar with a Grass Pledge. I wouldn't bet on it, especially with the Terrain boost now gone, but hey, As we do on this channel, we'll go down swinging. But considering that I started this little mini-series with my own mono starter team, losing to a mono starter team here in the middle, not the worst thing. Glad to see them doing well. I'm going to say GG, cool team. Arches, scope lens, so a little less lucky there. They left before I could say that part. In any case, we also dipped back under 1500 as my rating is now 1499 on this account. But hey, I am going to move away from the rain teams next time. I'm going to use a different style of team. But for Alligator and Sceptile, back-to-back really showed, again, while they're not the strongest Pokemon in the meta, how they can put in work if you put them in the right position with the right teammates. And I'm glad to see what I would say are my third and second favorite starter Pokemon popping off back-to-back. And there's a whole starter type that we haven't touched yet this month. So that's right, next time, a fire type.